Well, I am across the road now, more where I was, and this is the burn pile that we had made when we cut down those trees in a couple of videos. I'll show y'all the kind of stump area. But that can that's kind of out there in the center of that, you can see, I put a little short piece of pecan wood in there that I cut off that's too small for burning, doing anything else with, and it turns it into charcoal. Like the lump coal that you buy that looks like real wood. In fact, it looks almost just like this when it's in there. I don't have it out, but anyway, all this charcoal that's outside I'm going to use for biochar in my place, but what's in here I actually use to cook with on my grill and stuff. So, but over here, this is where those stumps were. Some of the limbs are still over here, but basically this is all grown up because I haven't done anything with it. Like I said, it's stumps. I'm gonna have to end up renting a stump grinder, or somebody's got a track hoe to come dig these stumps out. But anyway, there's some stumps in there. That's the ones that we had cut earlier. That was a little burn pile that we had built with it. Strawberry plants over here. Now I'm growing clover better than anything else, but actually clover helps make your soil better because it's considered a cover crop, and that's one growing in a strawberry hole. But that is a strawberry plant there. And I got another strawberry plant down here. I've actually gotten a few strawberries off of this one. It actually has one on it right now. This one is still not completely the right pH, but it's trying. The other one, these are little crowns that are trying to bloom, which will make this plant bigger and stronger. And eventually it'll make little runners that I can plant. In fact, that other one's doing pretty good too. Let me see if I can show you more crowns on it. It's crowning up pretty good. This one's got a much better pH. Like I said, I'm still working on the other one, but I bought some different pH stuff, so I don't have to just keep trying to use lime water. Something will raise it a lot quicker. And as soon as it dries out enough, I'm gonna do it. But you can see all the crowns in here on this plant. Well, if I get the camera in the right spot, you can see all the crowns. These are a lot of new big crowns that are coming up in here. And eventually, like I said, when the plant gets strong enough, it'll start putting off runners and making strawberries. Hopefully, if it don't make no strawberries, it ain't no good. But so far, this one hasn't made strawberries. But it is trying, like I said, to at least heal itself and get better. This over here is where I had planted, and most of this I was wanting to actually eat it, but the bugs ate it more than I got to eat any of it. And I think it also didn't get, because I fertilized it, then I tilled it in, and then I rode it up, and I don't think there was much fertilizer got in this top ground. So I didn't get much fertilizer. Also, it didn't get water like it should. On the end of the rows is actually where everything's growing the best. If you look down here, and on the other end I'll show you also, but the plants on the end of the row are doing much better because they're lower and they're getting more of the fertilizer. It's just kind of the way it is on all of these rows. And this one, they pretty much completely ate everything up. It's not, like I said, I can show you kind of what was growing in here. It's these little stringy brown things. If I find one, I'll show you. If there's one big enough to actually show you. This right here, not that. See if I can find it. There was some of it still actually in here, but basically, I can show you on the other plant. There's a main stem. This little main stem right here, and then of course you get the leaf. They ate all the leaf off and they left this little main stem. And there used to be a couple of these out here you could see. I'm not sure how many of them you can see now at all. But what I'm going to put here is corn. I'm going to put in 4 rows of corn. I'm going to take this out and I'm going to put in corn. That's my lettuce. It's doing really good. That's all I've planted. So that one green one and those red ones are romaine. The other things on the other side are beets. I got a few. The other ones are green peas. Let me just step over the row. Let me walk back down. It's muddy on that other side. So anyway, that's the peas. All from here to the lettuce is what we call English peas. The ones in front of it are what we call snow peas, and you can kind of see they've got a different color bloom. I'll show you these. The snow peas have got a really pretty bloom. Like I said, right now I'm on the other side of the road from my other garden and where the chickens normally are, but that's the bloom right there, and you can see there's quite a few purple ones on here. These other ones, I mean, they're not ugly, but they make a little white bloom. See if I'll get over here on this other side and I can show it to you, and then I'll show you but see, it's just a little white bloom. And it's not near as pretty. But they still make a pea, and I'm still gonna eat them. So that's that. Like I said, this is the beets. I've been trying to keep them cleaned out pretty much. I let the clover grow, but stuff like this grass right here, you get to see me work a little bit. I pull that out. This weed right here, pull that out. Pull this grass out. I don't know, people call this some kind of coffee bean, but it ain't a real coffee bean like you're gonna make coffee out of. But whatever it is, it ain't no good. I don't know how much of this y'all getting to see. I ain't gonna take a lot of time to do it. This is actually a dewberry bush, but it's in the wrong spot. I'm trying to watch the camera and the plants at the same time. Now that's a beet. I'm not gonna pull that one up. That's grass. I got a hoe I can come in here actually and fit in here, but it ain't that hard to do it by hand to a certain extent. But the other row, still only growing grass. Ain't got nothing in it yet. I got some, I'm gonna plant, the way I'm gonna do the corn, I'll just get you a little secret so you don't have to wait forever. But I started doing it the other day just to see how how easy it's gonna be. But right here, I started taking it out, but I'll kind of cover it back up, but I'm gonna make a trench as low as the row on the center of this. I'm gonna plant my corn in 2 feet apart. And then in between the corn, once they come up 15 days, after the corn comes up, I'm gonna plant some squash seeds in a pot. Then you have to heal the dirt back up to the corn. That's how you do it. As it grows up, you put more dirt back on it. So eventually the corn will get all the dirt pulled back on it plus some. And once it gets that, I'll put the squash in between them. Then I'm gonna plant purple hull peas, which are a summer type pea, around the corn. It actually helps put nitrogen into the soil, which the corn helps actually the corn. Plus, by putting the squash, which run on the ground, the corn, and the peas, it actually helps to keep a lot of this grass from growing. So that makes my job a little easier, so I don't have to hoe quite so much. I'm trying to figure out which one of these rows is the best to walk down, but I'm thinking maybe this one. But as I said, the beets are doing pretty good. They're getting a few bugs biting the tops, which I like to eat the tops too, but mostly wanting the bottom part. Got some ants over here. In case anybody hadn't noticed it yet, that's a chicken net. And one of the reasons for that chicken net is, as I said, the bugs ate all my stuff. Well, I don't have much of a bug problem on the other side because of the chickens. So I figure I got more than enough chickens. Actually, I got 3 of these fences. And I got more than enough chickens to move some chickens to this side. Now this is shallots. They do bunch. But they make the little gold type shallots, like the little French shallots. They look like a little bit like an onion, a little bit like a garlic, but they kind of got a little bit different taste. But anyway, these are shallots. And you can see this one has 4. It's one, if I get my finger in the right spot, there's 4 of them in here that's coming out. This is 1 bulb each, and it's made into 4. I think they do seed also. I did let this broccoli go to seed over here because I thought it might have been a different kind. So I wanted some seed from both kinds just to see, because these actually done a lot better, but I think it's just because they got more sun. But bugs are starting to eat them, moths and stuff. You can see one of them flying around over there. So, but this is what I'm going to show you how big this collard got down here that's really close, way on the end of the row. I mean, it's hardly rowed up at all. I'll try to hold the camera down here where you can actually see it. But this row is really low right there. And you can see how big that collard's gotten in the leaves. So that just means that the fertilizer is a lot deeper than what they got. The collards will get deep eventually if they get left there long enough. And they are good for clay soil to help amend it. So I was one of the reasons I planted them also. I wanted to eat them, but I planted them for both. This is the, like I said, we're across the road in the sun. It's always at the bad time. Boy, I had to pick the worst time to do this stuff for y'all, but it's like, it's a good time for me, but bad time for y'all. But these have started blooming, and I wanted to show y'all the bloom. It's a lot like the little snow pea. But anyway, I'm gonna get over here to one is blooming, and I'm gonna get you a shot of it. But this is actually Austrian Winter Pea, and that's the bloom on it. And there's quite a few of them that'll bloom. This is not the only one, but it just happens to be on the edge where it's easier for me to get to. So there's another couple out there. I think you probably can see that one. But the problem I got is deer are starting to come in here and lay down on my stuff really bad. They think this is their natural bed. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't want to scare them off because I'm thinking about hunting them next year, but I can't hunt them this year. It's too late in the season. But I don't want to scare them off because next year I might get some venison instead. So I don't know if Harris is watching these or not, but Harris, I might have to call you out here with that bow and let you take care of one or two of these for me. So some of the people know who Harris is. Some people won't, but he's giving me venison and elk, and he's a pretty good hunter, and he likes to go around and do that and share it with people. This is the flax seed. I mean, you can still see some of them's got bloom on it right here, but this is actually the little seed pods are in here. This is after it blooms, and I'm waiting for them to get just a little bit more golden, and I'm gonna walk through here and just cut them off right down here and harvest them. And like I said, I'll put them in a bag, and when they get dry enough, they'll actually open up and most of the seed will come out, and ones that don't, I can twist them a little bit and they'll pop out of there. But guys, like I said, I'm not trying to make them too long. I'm just trying to break them down a little bit into different scenarios. Like I said, that's the new, I'm gonna get the chickens over here within this week. They'll be over here. I got to cut some of them limbs down, but other than that, they'll be good to go. I'm gonna show you two more things real quick, like if I can. This is the tarps that we used to kill everything with originally, and I'm gonna plan on using them some more, but just not right now. This is one of the burn piles that I've been collecting and making over here. This is my new watering system. It's kind of dirty, but it don't have nothing living in it. I put just a little bit of chlorine in it every now and then when I see little mosquito larvae. I want to get a net for it, but screen or something to put over it, but I gotta pull this piece back and reattach it a little bit and make it a little bit better. But it's got a few leaves in it. It was made that tea colored water, but it won't hurt anything. This is the other burn pile, and I do check it for chlorine content before I decide to use it for water, but it don't take that chlorine long to evaporate out. So, and I put just a small amount as I can to do what I need to do, make sure no algae is growing and no mosquitoes. But this is a burn pile. That's a bunch of wire. I'm probably just going to try to get some of that out and move it. Once this burn pile is burned, maybe I can push it further in the ditch. I don't mind the wire being in there because it will rust and turn into iron, which plants will use. There's an old bed frame in there. I might end up taking part of that and using it because it looks like it's still in pretty good shape for welding. I might take some of that out of it for some of the smaller projects. It's not heavy enough to do some things, but it'll make a lot of smaller things. But anyway, like I said, this is the other burn pile that we had made. This is some of the charred wood from the previous burn. There was one burn that was, I think, over here. There was another burn that was kind of where this burn pile kind of is. It was right there. Some of this wood just got charred, and I'm probably, like I said, some of it's big enough to actually use for firewood, but some of it might still go back in the pile. The one last thing I was going to walk back and show you was the compost piles, and they're growing potatoes. So I'm going to try to get the potatoes out of here and put them in another bag. It'd be the same kind of bag, but I'm only going to put the dirt in it about a foot or so. I'm going to fold it. I'm going to try to fold it. I don't know how many more of these bags I can get, so I don't want to cut it if I don't have to. Because I was using them to make compost, and they actually work really good for that. But the other thing they'll work good for is holding potatoes that you can then put. This is another burn pile. I'm going to burn that one. That one's going to get burned really quick. It'll be burned. Today is Thursday. It'll be gone by this weekend. It may go today, it may go tomorrow, it may go Saturday, but it's going to be gone. A few more limbs I can throw in it. Some more limbs over there I can throw in it, but it's going to be gone. That's my grass pile. It's gotten a lot smaller. And these plants that you see growing out of this bag, that's potato plants. They're Yukon Gold. I think there's some red potatoes in here, and then there's some purple potatoes in there. But I can actually take those vines that are growing and replant them in another one of these bags. Like I said, it's just got dirt in it. That's an onion. It would actually grow probably too. But yeah, like I said, it's just that's what it is. It's just potatoes that we got put in there, and they sprouted and started growing in my compost pile. But I can take them out and some people might say, whoa man, that's gonna be nasty, but it's not. It's compost. So, and it's not nothing nasty. It's just, all it was fruit, vegetables, and that grass. You can mostly see the grass still in there. Most of the fruit and stuff is dissipated, but and that's just kind of what that's made of. It doesn't have any manure, any waste product like that. It's all vegetable material, so I'm not worried about it at all. But like I said, right now I don't really have potatoes on it anyway. It's just the growing part. It won't have potatoes for months. So, well, like I said, I can pull them out of there, put them in, transplant them in another bag, and then, like I said, grow some potatoes in a bag. I might have enough between this ones and the ones I got across the road I got started, and the ones I bought to do 2, maybe 3 of these bags. I just got to get the dirt for it. But I think I got about enough left over from them butter beans to make 1 bag. All right, guys, like I said, this is one. I'm just trying, like I said, the problem is I got so much stuff growing out here at one time. Like you see all the flack out here, and it's still blooming. Some of it's later blooming. And that's all out here along with the peas. But I was going to try to get a little bit closer, because there's maybe I can zoom in just a little bit too far. But there's a lot of those little pea blooms that are further out. That's what I was telling you. I tried to get you one that was close, but there's a lot of them out there. And like I said, I can kind of get you a picture where the deer have been laying down up in there. If I don't move the camera too much, let me zoom back out a little bit for that. That's about 1. But yeah, I don't know how well I can show that or not. I don't know how well y'all can see it's indented. You get out here, maybe I can take a lower shot of it and y'all can see where it's pushed down. Like I said, my phone screen is small and it's hard for me to see it. But like I said, it looks like there's about 5 of them nesting up in there, unless they're just choosing different spots at night. But yeah, like I said, they've been walking all through there. So anyway, like I said, they ain't hurting them too bad. That's still see a bunch of it blooming. So all right, well, like I said, this is the 3rd one today, and I try to break them down into different things, and I'll post them, get them as soon as I can. All right, guys, thank y'all.